Aloha, beautiful people. Welcome to day 5 practice, your last one. And so after your digestive flow, now we're going to tap into a bit of that core energy, get the juices flowing there. Do a little bit of that bridge exercise, which really activates and supports through the lumbar and the butt. And we're just going to stay on the floor today, hands and knees, but really tap into that core and all those juices there. So I'll meet you in a wide-legged child's pose. So what that looks like, if you're not sure, is toes together and knees wide, and allow yourself to slide back and slide down. And if knees wide feels good for you, you can come to rest on your elbows and just allow yourself to sink there. Otherwise, reach along the mat, and the forehead might come to the floor, or you can bend at the elbows and bring the hands like a pancake stack underneath your forehead and support the forehead there. So if your head does come to the floor, now's a really nice chance to, or the hands, is a really nice chance to just gently rock the forehead on the surface. Really gently let the head rock from side to side, and that's a lovely way to release the neck and shoulders. We're going to do a couple more exercises that help release the neck and shoulders. And then just let the head be in stillness. And perhaps you have a little sway in the hips from side to side as well. That's it. Take a really big deep breath in. And sigh it out. And then slowly come up. And if you can't sit on your feet, that's okay. But walk back, bring right hand by right hip, sweep the left arm up and lift the hips as high as feels right for you. So you don't have to come back this far if this doesn't feel right. If you're a bit hinged, that's perfect. Lift the hips away from the knees as you reach up through that left arm. And then as you hinge the hips, we're going to sweep down, switch sides. So left hand by left hip, raise up through the right arm. I'm going to do that 2 more times, one each way. To the right. And to the left. That's it. And then slowly come on down and come forward into your tabletop. So knees under hips, hands under shoulders. And what we want to do here is as you press down through the left hand, reach up through the right arm and look, follow the hand. And then as you bend the left elbow, actually I'm going to face forward. You don't need to turn, but I'm going to face forward. Reach up through that right arm and then bend the left elbow and thread it in and under. And then press up, so lift the belly, press down through the left hand, come back up, reach and look, thread in and under, and one more, reach and rise, look up, and then this time as you come down, slide that arm as far as you can, slide the neck and head away from shoulder. You could rearrange the left hand if you need to help support you, and lean on that outer right shoulder. And breathe behind the heart here, so making space behind the shoulders, opening up, releasing tension that runs up into the neck. That's it, one more breath there. And then a little zip in the belly as you press up. Come back to all fours. So you can be lengthwise on your mat. It's just easier for an angle for you guys to see me from here. So switch hands, right hand stays on the floor, left arm rises close to the eyes. And remember that the first 2 times we come down and then go back up. So bend the right elbow, slide in and under. So you're sliding the hand behind the right wrist all the way along. And then lift the belly, press the ground away, come back up. And out. In and up, have a look. That's it. And this time come to slide on down and stay. So just notice if the shoulder comes up around the ear, can you kind of slide the head forward a little bit? Lean on that left shoulder. Right hand can support you, so you can move it anywhere you like. That's it. Take one more breath there. And then lift the belly, press the ground away, and come back up to your tabletop. Beautiful. So tuck the toes. I want you to really make sure that you're in a square here. So the knees are underneath the hips, not too far back, not too far forward, just in that nice square shape, and hands are under shoulders, and really spread the hands and press the digits into the floor. Now, notice what your lumbar is doing. Have you dipped down through the belly, or can you zip the pubic bone towards the belly button, and that will lengthen the spine. We don't want to round into a cat shape. We just want a nice long spine, long from tip of tailbone to crown of head. And really press the ground away with your hands. So we haven't moved anywhere yet, but we're just activating everything. So as you do that, I want you to press the hands down, I want you to imagine that you're spreading the mat. Your arms aren't going to move, but you'll feel muscles engage. And then I also want you to imagine that there is a block in between your arms and you're squeezing that block. So we haven't moved the limbs, but we've activated muscles. And I really want you to feel that engaged. So you're pressing the fingers into the floor, spreading the mat outwards, squeezing an imaginary block, and notice all those muscles, yeah? And then dipping from pubic bone to belly button. So really finding that zip up, belly button towards the spine. Draw the sides of the waist together. Can you feel all this is coming on into your body? Now, tucking the toes, I want you to lift the knees just off the floor. So find a hover. If you can't do this hover, don't worry. Just do all of the things we've done up until this point. Find that hover. Hold for a moment. And then rest the knees. Release the arms and sink back into your child's pose. So notice what happens when we do basic postures really well and we turn everything on. So rock up, come to your tabletop, press the ground away, spread the mat, but squeeze the block, zip the belly, lift off with the knees, and keep pressing the floor away, broadening shoulders and zipping in and up. Just hovering here, using your body weight to build strength. And then let the knees soften and draw back. Beautiful. We're going to add on a little bit there. We're going to have some fun. See what the brain's doing. So rock forward, find your tabletop. All the same things. Press the fingers, spread the mat, squeeze the block, zip the belly, tuck the toes, lift the knees. Now, left hand, right foot, step it forward. And then the other. Yes. One more. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Now, tricky bit, reverse. Opposites, not the same. Opposites. Go back, and then press up into your down dog. So if that was a struggle or a challenge, good. That's all good. That's what it's all about, building strength in the body. And that's where our little yoga for harmony has come. There's been times that have been quite easy on the body, but also really impactful on energy. And then there is today that's going to challenge you a little bit and bring some heat into the body. Broaden the shoulders, release the head. Really press all the way up from fingers and up and out of sit bones. Take one more breath there. And then rock down onto your knees. Take a seat on your feet, or you can stand up if it's not comfortable for you. Take a roll in your shoulders and bring your hands together behind your butt. Press the hands down, lift the heart up, and really broaden the shoulders. So the reason I say broaden the shoulders is that if you're really open, you'll be squeezing the backs of your shoulders together at the back. And we don't want that. We want to stay nice and broad. So try to keep space in between the shoulders. Yes, we were rolling the arms back to open across the chest. Take just 2 more breaths here. That's it. And then release. Come back to your tabletop and tuck and lift into your down dog again. So really press the fingers into the floor. Don't let the shoulders roll towards the ears. Let them roll away from the ears and down your back. Bend the knees as much as you need to so that you can press long through your spine. So if you have a really big curve in your spine, that means you need more bend in your knees. And every body is different. So keep pressing the ground away with strong fingers to lift that strength up through the arms. And then, if you're comfortable to, you can either stay here if this is strong enough for you, and that's absolutely fine. Lift the right leg in the sky. and try to turn the toes to face the floor rather than roll it out. Press from the fingers all the way up and out of that heel. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring the knee towards the chest, just the knee, and then send it back. Do that 2 more times. Bring it in, send it back, and in, and send it back. That's it. Pop the right foot on the floor, bring the knees down, and rock back into a child's pose. So if you're doing everything really well and you don't have necessarily a strong practice, or you haven't been doing these simple tweaks that I've been bringing in, you'll be feeling it in your body, and that's okay. If when you start to use your hands right, you feel tensions in your wrist, you're not doing any damage. You're actually building strength. So if you're like, oh, my wrist is feeling a bit funky, guarantee that it'll only last for 2, maybe 3 sessions, and then the strength will come in. So really encourage you to roll with it. Or if you're not sure about pains you're having, message me. Let's rock up. Come to your tabletop, engage the floor and the core, tuck the toes, press back, down dog, as much bend as you need in the knees. Get long in the spine. Lift the left foot up off the floor, so toes to face the ground. Pressing from fingers up and out of that left heel. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, bring just a knee into the body, tuck it in. Use your core to do that. And then press up and out of that heel. Bring it in and send it out. 1 more, bring it in and send it out. That's it. Bring the left foot to the floor. If you need to, come down to your knees. If not, press forward, come into your lingering tabletop. So hovering off the floor, zipping through the core, spreading hands, and step left foot, right hand forward. And then the opposite. 1 more step each side, and then reverse it. You got this. 1 more. And then knees to floor, butt to feet, slide back and breathe. That's it. Feel that energy, that yummy energy pulsing in your body. Take a really big, deep breath in. Send it all out. That's it. And then slowly press up and flip over onto your back. This is where you'll get to stay, but it's not quite resting time yet. So feet are hip width apart. Come to lay down on the floor. I'm going to treat you, we're going to do this like you've never done it before. So reach the hands down towards the heels and the feet are hip width apart. And I really want you to spread all of your feet into the earth, especially as you press up, okay? So what we're going to do is keep the hands by your sides. As you peel up, I want you to imagine that your tailbone, your spine is coming up polka dot by polka dot. So instead of sometimes when we come up to a bridge, which is totally fine, we're doing a different type of exercise. We just kind of lift all at once and just straight up. I want you to roll vertebrae by vertebrae. So what that means is that before you lift, you have to draw the pubic bone towards the belly button so that just that last vertebra comes up first, and then the next, and then the next, and you're pressing down into all of the feet as you roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. So there's a lot more core and hip flexor involved. Come all the way up as high as you can, chest towards chin. Reach the hands towards the heels a little more, so you're sliding up onto your shoulder blades, and then reach the arms up above the floor to tap. Bring them back, and then vertebrae, vertebrae by vertebrae, roll down. That word was going to be a cross between polka dot and vertebrae. I haven't quite worked that out yet. So slowly let that come down. Then we begin again. Start by that tuck in the pelvis so the last vertebra comes off first. And dot by dot, you roll up through the spine and take your time. That's where the strength lies. Once you're at the top, arms reach up to tap the carpet or whatever you're on, and then bring the hands back. And then dot by dot, starting at the top, rolling down through the vertebra, and resist the urge to just drop the lumbar. That's it. And then polka dot by polka dot, start once again. Rolling, rising, press up as high as you can, reach to tap, bring it back, and roll it down. So you might get able to go just a touch faster. That doesn't mean we want to go fast, but just increase the speed a little bit once you know where you're going. But if you don't, if you're still really having to focus, go slower. Take your time, especially on that lift up. I have to really think about not lifting from my legs, but using that core tuck, reach to tap. Hands go back. Roll it down. So just remember, you don't have to be going at my speed. If you're doing it to what works for you, you have one more. Start slowly, roll it up. Reaching up. Find your tap. Bring it back and then roll down. Last roll down. Take your time. Really let it slide. And then when you get to the end, let the butt sigh into the floor. Walk the feet as wide as your hips and let the knees float from side to side like window wipers, just knocking. That's it. And then gently, before we move into the next exercise, just bring hands to knees and knees to chest and come into a hug. Have a little rock side to side so that the spine is aligned on the floor. That's it. And then bring the hands behind your head. So make a little pillow, not lifting the head off the floor. Let it sink back down into the hands. And that being said, if this isn't comfortable for your shoulders, you can have the hands down by your sides. That is absolutely okay. Lift the feet up towards the roof. It doesn't matter if they're not straight, but try to have the feet above your hips rather than above your chest, because that can be a lot easier. So see if you can send them further away, basically straight up and down if you can. If this is hard for you, then you will bring your feet closer, and that is okay. If it's not, send them up, straight degree, flex the feet, zip through the belly, keep the spine aligned. Don't let the pelvis rock up and back, and slowly lower the right leg, about 45 degrees. And come back. So small movements make a big difference. Left leg lowers 45 degrees and just work on that angle. Bring it up. And you might be deciding, if you do have the hands underneath the shoulders, that if that's not working for you, release them, that's okay. But it's about all of your focus is in your abdominals, drawing in and up and down. So in and up through the pubic bone and zipping through center, and down as belly button towards spine. Drawing the sides of the waist together. These are all ways for you to visualize and activate your core to support you. And you're only lowering the leg as far as it feels as though you can keep the pelvis right where it is, not letting it roll up and back, which will mean that you're using the lumbar instead. One more each way. That's it. And then bring hands to knees and knees to chest. Nice. Now a little strength for the obliques. Do as best as you can here. If you need to have your hands behind your legs, that's okay. You'll just adapt it. Otherwise, legs are straight up. Arms are up above you, sort of like framing the cheeks. So reaching a little bit up away from the floor. And I want you to slowly lower the left leg as you lift up through the left shoulder and reach left hand past right hip. And then as you come back, slowly roll to center. Drop the right leg as you lift the right shoulder towards the left and come back. So I say shoulder instead of arm because you really want to curl through the body. Left leg lowers as left shoulder lifts to right hip and come back. And right leg lowers. So keep switching. So it's the same arm as leg is moving, except your arm is reaching across the body and past the straight leg. So keep going. You shouldn't take long for you to feel this in the core. Keep the eyes moving with you as you go. There's just a couple more. One more each way. That's it. And then bring hands to knees and knees to chest. Bring everything just pull up on the floor. Bring the feet down to the floor. Just the same position as before we were doing the bridge. Don't worry about your polka dot by polka dot this time. Reach the hands down by your sides. Press into the hips and lift your hips all the way up. Sorry, press into the feet, lift your hips all the way up. Reach the hands a little further, and you'll either keep the arms straight as you lift the chest towards chin, or bring the hands to bind underneath you and press the heart up. Press from the feet, lift the hips up, and stay here for 3 breaths. Just unwinding a little tension from neck and shoulders. That can happen when we're working with the core, because we try to use the head to help. It's not very helpful, but it happens. One more breath here. That's it. And then if you have the hands down, slowly broaden the shoulders, bring hands to floor, and then roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, just taking time. Let the butt sway into the floor. Once again, walk the feet out hip width apart. Let the knees sway from side to side. This is a yummy way to massage the butt, settle the tailbone, and soften across the front of your hips. Nice. And from here, bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees flop out wide if that feels comfortable, and come into butterfly. So I've guided you here, but please don't be discouraged if this isn't comfortable for you. You can do the opposite. Bring the feet wide, about as hip width, about as wide as you had them when you're doing your window wipers, and let the knees knock in together. And if you can't do butterfly, there is nothing wrong with you. It's just what your body needs right now. Let the arms splay out to the sides, let shoulders sink into the floor, let the butt sink into the floor. And allow the breath to become present. There's actually no need to change it, just observe. How does it flow and where does it go? And notice what you can feel in your body. These beautiful channels of energy. Notice the weight in your limbs and the length in your spine. Notice the back of your head, the shoulders and the hips. That's it. And just rest here for as long as you like. You might stay in butterfly, or you might stretch the legs out long. And I really encourage you just to stay really still and drift in your breath. And take the time you have. And when you've run out of that time or you need to shift, then just come back into a comfy seat. And it's such a pleasure to take this journey with you. I really hope that it's not over. And I really look forward to hearing your feedback and seeing what you liked and perhaps what you didn't. I'm open to it all. Tell me what didn't work. It's all good. And I do hope that you have a wonderful day or evening, whatever part of the day it is for you. And yeah, like I said, I hope I get to see you again. And if not, well, you'll see me live at 5 on Sunday to give away some prizes. So yeah, send me loads of feedback and stuff between now and then. Lots of love. Mwah. Peace.